Shalom, shalom, shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Radash. Secondly, I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth in righteousness and in sincerity. And third of all, I want to give salutations to the hopeful elect that's out on the highways and byways teaching and preaching this truth in righteousness and in sincerity. The title of this lesson is going to be Learn Not the Way of the Heathen. Once again, learn not the way of the heathen. And I'm going to be going into how, our power, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, they don't want us, serving, these heathenistic idols, They don't want us, I'm speaking to the Heavenly Father and the Son, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Why Yahweh Shai. They don't want us, out in the world mingling with these heathens and being like unto these heathens, living life how they live life. And by heathens, I'm speaking of, the so-called Arabs, the so-called white people, the so-called Chinese people. You got all of these different nations that's outside of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And they don't live life according to the ways of the Heavenly Father. They don't live life, in a pleasing manner when it comes to what pleases Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Therefore, the children of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, which are the Israelites, are not supposed to live like those heathens that are living life, outside of the rules and regulations of the Heavenly Father. But this is Jeremiah 10:2 that I'm going to start with. This is chapter 2, and it reads, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Now let me grab the word dismayed. It says to be shattered, be dismayed, be broken, be abolished, be afraid, to be shattered, be broken, to be dismayed, right, to cause to be dismayed, to dismay, terrified, to shatter. So, when we see in the signs in the heavens, we see in the angels, we see in the chariots, so-called UFO alien spaceships, when we are seeing these signs from the Heavenly Father, we're not to be frightened by these things, because the heathens are. And they're frightened by these things because they don't understand what these things are, And ultimately, these things are not, of them or for them, These signs, if anything, they're showing, they're signs that's showing the impending judgment and, destruction of these heathen nations, the subduing of these heathen nations. It's not like with us, the nation of Israel, you get a spiritual boost from seeing the chariots or, seeing different signs, because we understand what's coming and what these signs are, hinting at, the kingdom of everlasting life, rulership, slaves, wives beyond number, children beyond number that you can actually enjoy and play with, So it's a difference between the spirit of an Israelite when they see these signs and the spirit of a heathen when they see these signs and wonders, We're not to be afraid of these things because we're supposed to have faith, that the Lord is dealing with us and ultimately that the Lord is speaking to us through these things. But that was the point right there. I'm going to grab Exodus 19. Now this is the book of Exodus, chapter 19. Chapter 19, verse 5. And it reads, Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, right, which is an agreement, the first agreement that, we made with the Heavenly Father It says, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine, you know? And one thing that goes into us keeping the covenant is us living, in the manner that, the Heavenly Father set up for us to live in, us living like a holy nation, which holy goes into separate. But it says, then if you keep my covenant, it says, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. So keeping that covenant, living like an Israelite, having faith, just being a, sincere Israelite, a truly, sincere and humble Israelite, trying your best to, do the things that the Heavenly Father has, commanded you to do, you will be a peculiar treasure unto him. It says, this is peculiar. It says possession, property, valued property, peculiar treasure. Now I'm going to grab this word peculiar on Google. This is the word peculiar on Google. It says strange or odd, unusual, peculiar, special. Right. We are strange and odd to this world when we follow the law, statutes, and commandments, when we celebrate these high holy days, when we speak about the things that are written within this book, that the world does not know about, or the world has been, misled about, different doctrines that's out in this world that mix and screw the scriptures, when an actual Israelite, a sincere Israelite are speaking on the scriptures, is strange and odd to this world, to these heathens especially, because they know nothing of these things, But us keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, us having faith, in the Heavenly Father and the Son, and us just understanding that we are perfectly imperfect, on this journey to salvation, these things make you strange and peculiar, to this world. And ultimately, that's how it's supposed to be. Israelites are supposed to be set apart and different from all of the other nations that were created, which are heathen nations. Israelites are supposed to be different. Our spirit is supposed to be different. How we look is supposed to be different. Our abilities are supposed to be different. So why would the Lord want us to join ourselves unto these nations and just live life like them and serve their false gods that the Lord created for them to serve? Why would the Lord want that when we can serve the Heavenly Father who created all these things? It makes no sense. But let me grab 1 Kings. No, I think that's 2 Kings. 2 Kings 21. So this is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 21, verse 1. And it reads, Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign. He reigned 55 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Hephzibah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi, after the abominations of the heathen, whom the Lord had cast out before the children of Israel. So, right, our people have always had, a history of struggling when it comes to the heathen nations, being seduced or, being enticed or just being persuaded by these heathen nations and their customs, Our people have a history of being, drawn away from the Heavenly Father, the one true power, to serve these idols that come from all of these other nations, Like it reads here, even Manasseh, when he reigned, drawn away by the heathen nations, their idols, their way of life in general, because it can seem appealing to the eye. It can be eye-catching in this world, because a lot of the stuff that they do is, carnal, and you see it in carnality. It don't take a lot of faith, to believe a lot of the things that are within these heathens' religions. But with the 100% truth of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, it takes a lot of faith to actually believe and see these things, because a lot of the things that are written within this book that you must believe to, truly believe in the Lord, they're not seen yet. A lot of the things that, you have to truly receive and believe in this truth, we don't see it yet. It takes faith, so it's a lot of differences within these, different religions in the 100% truth, but the Lord doesn't want us to just be mingled with these heathens and just living life to their tune, living life with them taking the first step forward and you taking the second step behind them, following their lead. Nah, we're supposed to be different. Now, this is the book of, wait, let me see. Is this? Nah, this is not where I was supposed to be. Salakia. So this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 1. And I'm going to close it off on this. It reads, when the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, thy power, shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites. These are all heathen nations, by the way. The Lord drove out these heathen nations. It says 7 nations greater and mightier than thou, showing the power of the Lord. It says in verse 2, and when the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, thy power, shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them, and utterly destroy them, and shalt make no covenant with them, nor shew no mercy unto them. So the Lord was delivering these heathens into our path, for us to put them away, to put them to death, And why were these things happening? It says in verse 3, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter shalt thou not give unto them. Salakia. I'm going to reread verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. This is the reason right here. This is the point. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other powers, and so will the anger of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. Right, so us being too closely mingled with these nations, being in these imperfect bodies where we're subject to temptation, where we're subject to sin, we're subject to going off, we're subject to these fiery darts, these fiery arrows from Satan, we're subject to wickedness. So it's not wise to be, for us to be too mingled with these heathens, especially not in these times where we're imperfect, So it's been times where, the Lord just needed us to separate, get them heathens away from you, and just focus, on me, on what I need from you, on what I want, The Lord does not want us, within the lifestyles of these heathens, feeling like we're one of them, believing that, they really care about us and the things that they tell us are, for our best interest, because these heathens, they have a king right now, which is Esau, Edom. So they're ruling, they're living in the spirit of Esau ultimately, you know, however it may look, little bits and pieces of Esau, is within all of these heathens, you know. The Lord gave the earth to, the wicked, you know. But it says, for they will turn away thy son from following me in verse 4. Our people have, too many times to count, been turned away, from these heathens, Our people have been turned away from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai by, trusting in these heathens, listening to these heathens, being, being, what's the word? Salaki, it's on the tip of my tongue. That's Satan, man. Our people, they've just been bamboozled, a lot by these heathens, by the customs that they see, how fancy, these heathens might make it look, how appealing to the ear or to the eyes, Our people are just taken time and time again from these heathenistic ways of life, You see it all day to day, our people, these so-called celebrities, you got all of these different Israelites that's big, they name all around the world. People asking for pictures, is because they have sold out to the heathens. They have joined themselves unto the heathens. They have made themselves to be an heathen because they said, forget Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. I want to live like this. I want to live like they live, Forget y'all. Y'all too broke for me. Y'all too low. Y'all struggle too much. I want to live like that. I want to wear that suit. I want to be in those secret meetings that don't nobody know about. I want to hear what the world don't know. I want the world to worship me. I want everybody to know my name. I want all of the money and the fame. These are the things that our people, especially these big people that been sold out for money, these are the things that they think. These are the ways that they think. I need more. This is not enough. Never satisfied, always seeking more. Just like Esau, Edom, their king. But, that was the point of the lesson. The Lord don't want us all up in these heathens' faces, getting mentored and, led by these heathens, or just coveting, envying them, wanting what they got, wanting to live like they live, wanting to look like they look. None of that the Lord wants us to be doing, because we are above them. We have been put above them in the spirit ultimately, but in the flesh right now we're below them. We have been made, inferior. We have been made worms unto them, but we're always going to be above them in the spirit, and soon in the spirit and the flesh, we're going to be above them, in the kingdom of heaven, because we're going to be 100% complete, and they're still going to be, broken vessels, they're still going to be imperfect, perfectly imperfect, going off, having to get corrected, having to get that iron rod broken on their back. It takes some force to break an iron rod on somebody's back, but that's going to be happening in the kingdom, But with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and I hope this lesson was edifying. And until next time, Shalom.